rifle and loot. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. We kidnap and ravage and don't give a hoot. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. Yo ho, yo ho, a pirate's life for me. We extort, we pilfer, we filch and sack. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho.
Hi there Internet, my name is Scott and this is my review of Pirate Party Australia. They're a political party and we have 54 political parties in the country, and we have an election that's coming up really soon, and most people haven't heard of most of our parties. So I've been researching these over a number of weeks, and here's a little bit of information about Pirate Party Australia. Okay, so the Pirate Party, now they were founded in 2009. They have nothing to do with pirates at sea. They are a very well organized and very well written and well cited party. Absolutely. I was really surprised by the Pirate Party. They were very, very clear and thorough on their websites. They have a lot of information, a lot of ideas, and yeah, I was very surprised. I did not expect such a comprehensive website. Anyway, so the Pirate Party, they are based on the Pirate Party of Sweden. There are pirate parties in other countries around the world, mostly in Europe. The party stands for copyright reform. They believe in internet freedom. They oppose censorship. They oppose any kind of internet filter and data retention policies. And one of the party members has conducted a series of workshops for seniors on how they can bypass internet filters in order to access information about safe euthanasia techniques. The president of the party is a man called Simon Frew. The party described as humanists, which is like it sounds. They support, I guess, the rights of humans. They're really big on freedoms. Really big on them, and all kinds of freedoms. Freedoms of thought, freedoms of speech, freedom of privacy, and freedom of culture in particular. So they want to support all of those freedoms. They're big fans of transparency. They really are. Somewhat similar to the WikiLeaks party, but I don't want to pigeonhole the two together. But they do support transparency. They believe that the justice system should err on the side of civil rights and free speech. They have a lot of policies on issues related to copyright and, I guess, anti-piracy and patents. So their position is that they believe that copyright is a corporate invented method for relating, I guess, works of art with money, and I guess copyright's a vehicle for making money out of art, amongst other things. The Pirate Party website states that copyright, and it's all cited. It's all you can find out a lot more information on anything they say, but copyright does prevent, or has prevented, the singing of Christmas carols. It has stopped, I guess corporations have denied historical venues from publicly showing footage of historical events. That sort of thing. So the party believes in, I guess, the rights of the public to have access to these works of art. The party, believes in freedom of culture. I hadn't heard of freedom of culture very much before, but it's they talked about supporting. No, I'm not going to say supporting. They talked about live music venues. They talked about art galleries, and I guess they wanted to encourage diverse nature of having the experience of being around and absorbing art in these places. and they don't want to see, for example, I guess, copyright restrictions in nightclubs, which can stop music from getting played and stop people from hearing music, and having the experience of being in a nightclub, of course. Um, they are against patents, so they don't like the idea um, of the medical industry putting patents on, I guess, so proprietarizing, if that's a word, uh, medical research. Probably the most common intellectual property issue is genetic modifications. GMOs, genetically modified organisms, which are used in agriculture by companies like Monsanto. They are against the proprietary ownership of genome sequences. These things are very important to the Pirate Party. They are repeated in some other parties too, like the Secular Party, um, but it's quite a stance of the Pirate Party of Australia. They're really big on education. They're huge proponents of education, especially tertiary education. They're very against the corporate, I guess the corporatization of education. They believe it should all be free from corporate influence. The party believes in transparency in government, and they believe in digital freedoms. In regards to tax, they want to reduce company tax, which is something that a few parties, including the Bank Reform Party, have mentioned. That they want to. I don't know a lot about company tax, but apparently Australians have a high rate of company tax. Um, they want to. The Pirate Party want to set up an international transactions tax, which not really like a tariff, but it does support local banks over international banks. They want to increase and make some changes to the welfare system. They believe in renewable energy. They're big proponents of renewable energy, and they would like to see more environmental policies um, or take place. They strongly support same-sex marriage. They are against the war on drugs. Again, if you see my video on the Drug Reform Party, you'll find out a little bit on the war on drugs. They would like Australia to adopt a similar system to Portugal, where drugs are dealt with, drug addiction is dealt with as a health issue and not a criminal one. Um, they believe that seeking asylum is lawful, which it is, and that this. Now, I hadn't heard this before. They wanted to set up a regional solution that involved all of our regional Asia Pacific bodies in regards to asylum seekers, and have that body overseen by an independent watchdog. My understanding is that people seeking asylum to Australia would be, I guess, no different to people seeking asylum in New Zealand, Fiji, Samoa, um, anywhere in the Asia Pacific, and Indonesia as well. And um, I guess we would equally distribute, or what's the word? We would resettle refugees as a region, not as a nation. So look, that I hadn't heard that in any other parties before, but it does seem to make sense. Um, the party also, finally, they want to increase foreign aid. They want to improve our the amounts of foreign aid that Australia gives to developing countries. Uh, that's that's all I wanted to say about the Pirate Party of Australia. Do check out their website if you can. It's their link is in the comments of this video, and it's again it's incredibly well cited. It's a very accessible and a really it's a very thorough website. It's very clear. The party's intent is very easy to grasp from their website. So that's there. If you like this video, if you found it useful, please click on like. Perhaps you might want to share it, and I'll see you for my next party review really soon. Thank you.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. We pillage, we plunder, we rifle and loot. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. We kidnap and ravage and don't give a hoot. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. We extort, we pilfer, we filch and sack. Drink up.